The city is quiet tonight. It's just us, the static and the dark. You know that specific feeling when the noise of the day finally fades out?
I do.
When the distractions are gone and you're just left with the truth of your connections? Welcome back to the deep dive. Tonight, we're keeping the lights low, we're slowing the tempo right down.
I really like the mood tonight.
Yeah.
It feels, I don't know, it feels private, intimate, like we're about to discuss something forbidden. Or at least something people usually only whisper about in the dark.
In a way, we are. We're digging into the Midnight English Guide, specifically episode 9. And the topic, well, it's a heavy one. It's the one that makes your heart hammer against your ribs, even when you're trying your absolute hardest to look cool. We're talking about jealousy.
Ah, the green-eyed monster. It's universal, isn't it? It really doesn't matter how old you are or, how experienced you are. It always finds you.
It does. But we aren't just talking about feeling it tonight. We're talking about the mechanics of it, the architecture of that panic. Because picture this. You've built something real. The chemistry's electric. Everything is just perfect. You're in that bubble where nothing else exists. And then, out of nowhere, a test appears.
And the atmosphere changes instantly.
Yeah.
It's visceral. You can literally feel the temperature drop in the room.
Right. Maybe you're at a bar, the bass is thumping, the air is thick, and someone walks up, someone bold, attractive, and they just start flirting with your date right in front of you. Or maybe, you're in a quiet corner having this deep conversation, and suddenly they drop the bomb. The X is mentioned.
Oh, the dreaded X.
Yeah.
It's like a splash of ice water on a warm bed.
That moment right there, that split second where your stomach just completely drops. The source material refers to this as the ego trap. But I want to push on that a little bit. Why ego? Because to me, it feels like a survival instinct. It feels like you're about to lose something precious.
Well, it definitely feels like survival, but it's actually purely ego. It's the fear of replacement. See, the ego wants to be the only one. The ego demands to be the center of the universe. So when that's threatened, most people just panic. Their insecurities completely take the wheel. The internal monologue starts screaming, "Am I not enough? Who is this person? Why are they better than me?"
And that internal panic, it turns into external weakness. You start asking those sharp, defensive questions. Who is that? Why are you talking to them? Why are you bringing up your ex right now?
Exactly. And just like that, the spell is broken. The source is very clear on this. The moment you interrogate, the moment you show you are rattled, you destroy your high-value aura. You look weak. You look easily threatened. And nothing kills desire faster than the stench of insecurity.
Man, that's a harsh truth, the stench of insecurity. But if panic is the poison, what's the antidote? The guide proposes a psychological concept that I find absolutely fascinating, though I'll admit when I first read it, it sounded a lot easier said than done. It's called Amused Mastery.
Amused Mastery. Just the sound of it implies control, doesn't it? It sounds so relaxed.
It does. But let's unpack it because I think people might misinterpret mastery as being controlling of the other person. What does it actually mean to have amused mastery in the heat of the moment?
It's not about controlling the other person at all. It's about frame control. It means reacting to a social threat, whether that's a rude comment, a rival suitor, or just an awkward topic, as if it is a funny, harmless joke. You aren't angry, you aren't sad, you're just amused.
So you're looking at the threat, and instead of citing it, you're almost laughing at it. That feels incredibly difficult when you're genuinely angry.
It is difficult. That's why it's a mastery. Think of it this way. Imagine a movie star walking down a red carpet. The paparazzi are screaming, flashing cameras, trying to get a reaction. Some are even shouting insults just to get a photo of an angry face. Does the movie star stop and scream back?
No, they just smile and wave.
Right. They smile and wave. Because they know who they are. They know the paparazzi are just noise. That is amused mastery. It's a mix of amusement and a tiny, tiny bit of arrogance. It's knowing you are the prize.
That shift in perspective is powerful. But here's the thing. Jealousy feels biological. It feels like a physical punch to the gut. Can you really just decide to be amused? Isn't that just suppressing your emotions?
That's a really critical distinction. The guide makes a point that I want to linger on for a second. It says that jealousy is a natural emotion. You're going to feel it. That's biology. But showing jealousy, that is a choice. You can feel the punch, but you choose whether to double over or stand tall.
So it's about the gap between the feeling and the reaction.
Exactly. And mastering that gap is what turns you into a magnetic force. Because everyone else reacts, everyone else crumbles. If you don't, you become something incredibly rare.
Okay, let's see how this plays out in the real world. Because theory is great, but when you're 3 drinks in and someone is hitting on your date, philosophy usually goes out the window. The guide breaks this down into 3 phases. 3 specific scenarios where you are guaranteed to be tested.
Phase 1, social competition.
This is the classic scenario. You're out, the lights are low, maybe you're sipping a drink, and a stranger approaches your partner to flirt. They are bold. They are ignoring you completely.
This is so visceral. The instinct here is primal. You want to act like a guard dog. You want to hover, glare at the stranger, wrap your arm around your partner and say, "This is mine."
The back-off energy? I think a lot of people interpret that as being protective, though. Isn't there some value in showing you're willing to defend your partner? Doesn't that show you actually care?
There's a very fine line between protective and possessive. Protection is for physical safety. Possessiveness is for emotional safety. When you glare and hover, it signals fear. It signals that you think this stranger is a genuine threat to your position. It signals that you think they might actually be better than you.
So by defending your territory, you're inadvertently admitting the stranger has a shot.
Exactly. If you were truly secure, why would you care? If you own the throne, you don't worry about the gesture. The guide suggests doing the exact opposite of the guard dog. It introduces something called the unthreatened compliment.
The unthreatened compliment. This feels totally counterintuitive. You're supposed to compliment the person hitting on your date?
It requires you to be so confident in yourself that someone else desiring your partner doesn't make you jealous. It validates you. It just proves you have good taste.
So instead of getting mad, you lean into it. The guide gives us a specific phrase here, a key chunk of language to use. You turn to your partner, maybe give a little smirk, and you say, "They have good taste."
They have good taste. Feel the difference in energy there. Instead of being the jealous partner, you are the confident observer. You are agreeing that your partner is attractive, and you're actually praising the stranger. You're saying, "Of course they want you. I get it."
It's completely unbothered. It flips the script entirely. You aren't competing with the stranger. You're above the competition. But hold on, what if the stranger is persistent? What if they're actually good-looking, charismatic, and they aren't backing down? Saying they have good taste might make you look like a doormat if you just stand there while they steal your date.
That's a valid fear. But looking like a doormat comes from passivity. Amused Mastery is active. You aren't ignoring it, you're framing it. If it goes a step further, say the stranger tries to pull them into a conversation or buy them a drink, the urge to intervene is strong.
Right. You want to step in and say, "She's with me," or "He's taken."
But again, Amused Mastery demands you do less, not more. The guide offers this phrase to say to your partner, with a smile as you step back or go to the bar. You say, "I'll let you handle this."
I'll let you handle this. That sounds incredibly risky to some people. You're walking away, you're leaving them in the lion's den. If I do that, aren't I just giving the stranger an open goal?
You aren't walking away. You're giving space. Think about the psychology behind it. You are telling them, "I trust you. I am not threatened by this person at all. You deal with it." It forces your partner to make a choice.
It puts the responsibility completely on them.
And here is the aha moment, the paradox of desire. When you give someone complete freedom, when you open the cage door, they usually want to come right back to you.
Because you're the one who isn't suffocating them. You're the cool, confident anchor in the room.
Exactly. You become the sanctuary. The stranger is the annoyance. You are the release. If you cling, you just become another annoyance. You become another demand on their energy.
Wow, that's sexy, it's confident, but it requires nerves of steel. You have to be willing to lose the person to keep them.
It does, but that's exactly why it's attractive. High value is rare.
Let's go deeper. Let's move to phase 2, the emotional stuff, because this is where it really gets messy.
The minefield.
The minefield. We're leaving the bar now. The night has wound down. Maybe you're back at your place, or theirs. It's quiet, the conversation gets intimate, and then they mention the past. They mention an ex.
This is where the ego trap is most dangerous, because it's emotional, not just physical. A stranger at a bar is temporary. An ex is history. They have memories you don't have. They have inside jokes.
And the mistake is asking for details. We've all done it. Why did you break up? How long did you date? Was he better looking than me? Were they funnier than me? You go digging for pain.
It's a losing game. You can never win by comparing yourself to a ghost. The ghost is always perfect in memory. They don't have bad breath or annoying habits anymore. They were just a highlight reel.
So if you engage, you're essentially fighting a fantasy.
Never fight the ghost. The guide calls for the graceful deflection. Do not get angry. Do not let the mood drop. But you must firmly close the door on that topic.
You have to protect the vibe. But how do you do that without sounding like you're avoiding it because you're insecure? If I say, I don't want to talk about that, it sounds I'm fragile, like I can't handle their past.
Tone is everything here.
Yeah.
The guide suggests this phrase. You say it playfully, maybe with a slight yawn or a dismissive wave, but you absolutely mean it. We don't talk about exes. It kills the vibe.
We don't talk about exes. It kills the vibe. I like that. It's not, I'm jealous. It's, this is boring and I want to have fun.
Precisely. You are framing the rule around enjoyment. You're saying, we're having way too good a time to bring that heavy luggage in here. It establishes a strong boundary without making you look insecure. You're positioning the ex as a mood killer, not a threat.
But sometimes the partner pushes. Maybe they feel guilty for slipping up. They try to apologize. Or worse, they start asking about your past. They want to trade war stories to level the playing field. Well, tell me about your ex then.
And you must resist. This is a trap. If you start talking about your ex, you've just brought 3 or 4 people into the bedroom with you. It's crowded.
It totally ruins the intimacy.
This next phrase, this is my absolute favorite in the entire guide.
Yeah.
It is so simple, but the weight of it is incredible. If they try to drag the past into the room, you look them in the eyes, deep eye contact, and you say, I only care about the present.
I only care about the present.
Just let that hang in the air for a moment.
It's powerful. It feels very final, but in a really good way.
It's highly romantic, but it's also dominant. You are taking a knife and cutting away all the threads to the past, all the drama, all the comparisons. You are saying right now, in this room, it is only you and me.
It refocuses all that energy onto the chemistry happening right now. It forces them to be present with you. It almost demands that they stop thinking and start feeling.
It's hypnotic. By refusing to engage with the past, you make the present moment feel infinitely more important. You make the connection feel urgent.
It's almost like by denying the history, you heighten the mystery and the intensity of the now. You're saying, I am enough.
Exactly. You are the only thing that matters in that moment.
Yeah.
And honestly, that is what everyone wants to feel. They want to feel like the center of the universe.
So we've handled the stranger at the bar, phase 1. We've navigated the minefield of the ex, phase 2. But there is one more phase, and this one is tricky. This is when the test isn't accidental, it's intentional.
Phase 3, playful callouts. Or, as they are often called in the dating world, shit tests.
Shit tests. It's a crude term, but pretty accurate. This is when someone tries to make you jealous on purpose. Maybe they tell a story about a guy hitting on them at the gym, or they mention how their coworker keeps texting them just to see if you flinch.
It's a game, but we need to understand why they do it. It's rarely malicious. It's usually a subconscious check for strength. They're checking your frame. Are you strong enough to handle them? Or will you crumble?
So they're basically poking the bear to see if it's a real bear or just a stuffed animal.
Exactly. If you react emotionally, if you get angry or pouty, you fail. You show that your emotional state is dependent on them.
You fail the test. So how do we apply Amused Mastery here? Do we ignore it? Just pretend we didn't hear it?
No, ignoring it could look like you didn't hear it, or worse, that you're being passive-aggressive. You call it out, but you do it with a smirk. You use a technique called agree and amplify. You don't defend yourself. You lean into the absurdity of it.
The guide gives us a great phrase for this. When they tell that story designed to poke you, you laugh, genuinely laugh, and say, are you trying to make me jealous?
Are you trying to make me jealous? See what that does? You are naming the game. You are stripping away the power of the test. You're telling them, I see what you're doing. It's cute, but it won't work.
You're treating them like a mischievous child almost. Are you trying to make me jealous? It frames their behavior as an attempt to get your validation.
It disarms them completely.
Yeah.
Because now if they say yes, they look silly. If they say no, they have to back down. You've won the frame.
But what if they double down? What if they say, no, I'm not trying to make you jealous. I'm just telling you that this guy's really interested in me.
Then you need to close the loop. The guide suggests a follow-up phrase, something to really seal the deal. After you ask if they were trying to make me jealous, regardless of their answer, you add, you'll have to try harder than that.
You'll have to try harder than that.
That is the ultimate flirtatious challenge.
It frames you as the prize. It's confident, bordering on arrogant, but in a very playful way. It's audacious.
It does. It says, I am not easily shaken. I am a rock. If you want to get a reaction out of me, you need to bring your A game. It invites them to keep playing, but now they're playing entirely by your rules.
It's shifting the dynamic from, I hope they like me, to, I wonder if they can keep up with me. And that shift is magnetic.
And that is the essence of Amused Mastery. It's that subtle shift. You aren't indifferent, you are engaged. But you are untouchable. You are enjoying the show, but you aren't worried about the ending.
It seems like the common thread through all of these phases, the flirt, the X, the test, is that you never let the external world dictate your internal state.
That's the core philosophy. Most people are reactive. The world pushes, they move. The partner pulls away, they chase. Amused Mastery is about being the stillness in the center of the storm.
Like the eye of the hurricane.
Yes. When you refuse to be rattled, you become incredibly safe to be around. That's the paradox. By not being jealous, you actually make your partner feel safer. They know you can handle them. They know you can handle other people.
And you also become dangerous in a good way. You become unpredictable because you don't react like everyone else.
You break the pattern. Everyone else gets jealous. Everyone else asks about the ex. Everyone else gets defensive. You just smile.
And that smile is terrifyingly attractive.
It implies you know something they don't.
So let's bring this back to you, the listener. You're out there, you're navigating these waters, and you feel that tightness in your chest, that jealousy rising. It's 2 a.m., your mind is racing. What is the one thing they need to remember to stop the spiral?
Remember that you cannot be replaced. A high-value person knows their worth. If you truly believe that you are the best thing that could happen to this person, why would you be jealous of a stranger at a bar? Why would you be threatened by a memory of an ex?
You wouldn't be. It would be illogical.
You wouldn't. You would be amused that anyone else even tries to compete. That energy is bulletproof.
Bulletproof confidence. It's not about shouting the loudest. It's about who can hold the silence the longest.
And who can hold the gaze without blinking.
We've covered a lot of ground tonight. We've gone from the unthreatened compliment telling them they have good taste to the graceful deflection of we don't talk about exes.
And I only care about the present. Don't forget that one.
I only care about the present. These aren't just lines, they are mindsets. You have to believe them before you say them. If you say them while your voice is shaking, they won't work.
No. You have to internalize the truth of them. You have to actually believe you are the prize.
And once you believe them, everything changes. The dynamic shifts. You aren't chasing anymore. You're attracting.
And that is a much better place to be. It's far less exhausting.
Before we go, I want to leave you with something to think about. Something to mull over in the dark while the city sleeps.
What's on your mind?
We talked about words tonight. We talked about phrases. But consider this. If you truly, deep down, believed you were the absolute best option in the room, how would your silence speak louder than your words the next time you feel tested?
Silence is a very heavy language.
Sometimes the most dominant move is saying nothing at all. Just a look, a smile, and the absolute knowledge that you were exactly where you are supposed to be.
I love that. Let them wonder what you're thinking.
Sleep well, everyone, or stay awake and practice.
Good night.
This has been The Deep Dive. We'll see you in the next one.